Welcome back to the show. I'm Carl Cannon, talking now with the best Pennsylvania reporter in the history of Pennsylvania. That's Salena Zito, who writes for us and does commentary and has a syndicated column. Salena, I have never seen a campaign like this. I've been covering these since 1984, so 40 years of covering presidential races. And this thing has been basically a dead heat for months. And everybody thinks it's going to come down to Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania is a dead heat. Is that still how you see it?
Yeah, it really is a fascinating race, isn't it? And it's so close. But, Trump and Biden, I could see Trump moving away. It was probably going to be close like this, but Trump was starting to move away, in particular in the days after the debate. And then we had the shooting in Pennsylvania, right? It's like everything happens in Pennsylvania. And, Pennsylvanians started to realize, especially ones that are on the fence, started thinking, wow, we really do matter. And for a very next level reason. And that sense of place and pride sort of started to override partisanship. So you saw a shift more towards Trump. We have the convention. Meaning, the Republicans have the convention, and we watch the convention. You see a convention that is a lot about the electorate that I think Republicans and Democrats sort of don't understand, is that the Republican Party has become the party of work, which is very different. It's used to being the party of Country Club and Wall Street, and it looks and feels very, very different.
And then the Democratic Party is the party of sort of social justice, and there's strains of that in Pennsylvania politics too.
Yeah, absolutely. You see that in the large cities, absolutely. In particular in Pittsburgh. The city of Pittsburgh has become decidedly not left, but far left in their elected officials. All three top elected officials in the city of Pittsburgh were affiliated and or members of the Democrat Socialist of America. So you're correct. This party has gone further left. And so then Biden drops out, right? And Harris comes in. And I don't see Trump lose any votes, but I don't see him gain anything either. And there's sort of this story about, someone fresh, someone new. And so the people that were paused looked at her. However, after not the debate didn't move anything either. I mean, your polling showed that.
Wait, we're talking about the debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Really? All right, wait a minute. I want to ask you a question about that. So Trump's numbers kind of stayed the same, and hers went up a little bit. What that tells me, and I want to ask you if this is true in Pennsylvania, what it suggests to me is that there were people who would have wanted to vote for the Democratic Party, but they were not going to vote for Joe Biden. They just thought he was too old.
Yeah.
And maybe it's 2-3%, but that seems to be the difference. Now you got this dead heat. All right. Election night, we're all going to be, you and I will be working, but for those of our listeners who are not working or just watching the returns come in, tell us the counties and jurisdictions in Pennsylvania where you think this thing will be decided.
First county I'm looking at is Cambria County, home of Johnstown. This is a county that 3 years ago was majority Democrat. Now they're at almost 50,000 more registered Republicans.
Yeah, now you've written about this. What led to that?
Well, the party's changing. The Democrats became too much of a social justice entity. Faith was not a big part of, sort of God and faith was not sort of part of the ideology. Climate change became more of the center of what is, their faith. They're the most important entity. And trade deals and automation, Johnstown, I was just at an event for J.D. Vance on Saturday in Johnstown. We're at the old Bethlehem Steel, which is a mile long. Like, people don't understand the massiveness of these manufacturing plants. And now there's just one little place that a business is a defense contractor. All you have to do and see at what used to be to tell you how these parties have moved. Barack Obama effectively brought the New Deal Democrats in 2008. By 2012, people forget 300,000 Pennsylvanians did not vote for him again in 2012.
Well,
but they didn't vote for Romney either.
Well, he's the only president that ever won re-election and got fewer votes than he got the first time. You're listening to Salena Zito, who lives in Windsor, Pennsylvania, excellent political writer. I'm Carl Cannon, Washington Bureau Chief. You're listening to Real Clear Politics on Sirius XM Radio. Salena, okay, so Cambria County. Give me a couple others.
Luzerne County, up by Scranton. I would watch Erie.
Well, let's talk about Luzerne for a minute. So Joe Biden is from there, but now Joe Biden's not on the ballot. So this is one place in Pennsylvania where Biden might have helped the Democrats to keep Joe Biden, his hometown. Yes. Okay. Yes. All right. And then you were saying?
Erie and Northampton.
Now, you've written about Erie, and both, I've talked to Democrats and Republicans. They're both targeting it. They both think it's important. What's the issue up there that people care the most about?
High cost of living. Inflation is really crushing people. People forget in the city of Erie is the poorest zip code in our entire state.
Really?
They have a problem with fentanyl. They have a problem with homelessness. They have a problem with crime. It also is the largest refugee and settlement in the state and like one of the top 10 in the country.
And where are those people coming from mostly?
Mostly Africa.
Okay.
And honestly, Catholic Charities has done a great job of assimilating and integrating people into society there. But there's a lot going on there. But inflation and crime and fentanyl and homelessness, you can't drive through parts of the city of Erie without just seeing the despair, seeing the zombies, the people that walk around beautiful Perry Square in the center of town, where Commodore Perry, it's just named after him, is just filled with walking zombies.
And which party you think is poised to do, which ticket's going to win there, if you had to choose?
I would give the edge to Trump just because I think the people that are in the middle of despair, in particular in the heavily Democrat area of city of Erie, I'm not sure they're turning up to vote. No, people have not seen them. They've not heard them. And outside, everything else outside of Erie is Republican. You will see what's called the frontier, which is sort of the Connecticut of Erie, where the upper middle class suburbs, they don't care for Trump. So, but that's also part of the city.
And those are Romney Republicans or Democrats.
Yeah.
All right. And you named a fourth county, Northampton. Is that what you said?
Northampton.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
Northampton is, with the exception of, I think it was 1948, everywhere, the way that Northampton has voted, so has the entire state of Pennsylvania, and so has the country. Same with Erie. I don't think Erie ever skipped a beat. And
so these are bellwether counties in a bellwether state. And what's the issues in Northampton people care most about?
Same.
Yeah.
It is really astounding to me that the three top issues, inflation, the border, which has to do then turns into fentanyl and crime and homelessness, and a sense of loss of security, has really, really been at the heart of what is really on the minds of voters. And it has been really interesting to me in how the Democrats have prosecuted that case. It's not been done very, very well. Bill Clinton used to be great at saying, I feel your pain. I see your pain. You're not getting that message. It's not filtered down to the voters from the Democrats. If they lose Pennsylvania, it's very much part of that.
You said you were at a J.D. Vance event on Saturday. I think J.D. Vance was chosen by Donald Trump. I didn't, I'll be honest, I didn't see it at the time. I thought he could have expanded his base, but to appeal to voters just like the ones you're talking about now in that state, in Pennsylvania. We got about 30 seconds left. Have you detected any, is there a little Vance boomlet? Has he helped the ticket at all since his debate and his many television appearances?
Yeah, absolutely. I talked to people in Johnstown. They were like, wait, JD Vance, who is he when he was picked? Now they love him and embrace him. And I think because this has the Republican Party at the forefront now is a party of work, laborers, cosmetologists, small business owners. These are the people that are going to decide this election. And he has appealed to them, but he has also prosecuted the case intellectually in the media that has impressed them.
All right, we're going to leave it there. Salena, thank you for being with us. We'll have you back on because next time you're coming on, I want you to tell us about the Senate race in Pennsylvania because that's closer than I thought it was going to
Yeah.
be.